Hello everyone, my name is Julie. Thank you so much for watching. If you hear noises or movement over on that end, my husband is cooking dinner. I am very pleased and happy and excited and privileged to have a husband who loves to cook, and so it smells really good. He's doing this. But if you hear noises, that's what it is, and I am sorry about that. I'm trying to film a lot of videos. We're moving and it's going to take about a month and a half to get there, so I want to film a lot of videos ahead of time, including this entire series. That's like my top 5 of something when I worked at Ulta. Oh my gosh, I almost said Sephora. No, I did not work at Sephora. I worked at Ulta. And that will come in probably the previous video, which I'll ping up there, which is the 5 oddest questions I've ever gotten working at Ulta. But this video is what I've been waiting to tell, because I no longer work at Ulta. I have, since the filming of this video, I have left Ulta because of the move, and yes, I would continue working at Ulta if I was able to, but when I worked at Ulta, I did a couple different things. One, I did tasking, so I replenished the stock on the shelves, I put up new displays, I worked as a cashier, I worked as what they call a gem, or the person who greets you as you walk through the door. But this is going to be the top 5 strangest returns that I've ever had at Ulta when I was a cashier. And I had some pretty funny ones. I've had some really funny returns. And Ulta's return policy, I think, is pretty simple. You have, if you want your money back, you have 60 days to try the product. You can use 25% of it. So you need to have 75% remaining in the tub, in the jar, in the powder, whatever it is. You need to have 25. You can only use 25%. You have to keep 75%. And keeping the receipt is always a bonus. Keeping the box with the SKU on it for the UPC is always a bonus for the cashier. It helps out so much. You have to have a beauty rewards card. So you have to, or excuse me, the ultimate rewards card. Oh my gosh, Sephora's on the brain. You have to have basically an Ulta account. And they're free, but to return anything, you have to have it. If you don't have a rewards account at Ulta, we'll make one for you to have that return happen. But these were all people who did something a little outside of that. And yes, you can return things after 60 days at manager's discretion for store merchandise credit. But that is up to the manager's discretion. So here is some funny ones. Okay, so number 5. I had a person that came up to me who was very polite, and they said, "Oh, I've got a return." And I said, "Great, okay, let's do this, let's see the product," right? And it was a brand new product, it had never been touched or used, and it was a drugstore brand. So I was like, "Okay, do you have a receipt?" And they said, "No, it was a gift." And I said, "Okay, do you have a beauty rewards card?" Why do I keep calling it that? The ultimate rewards card. "Do you have an ultimate rewards card?" And they go, "Oh, well, my mother purchased it for me." And I said, "Okay, what is your mother's phone number? And if she has an ultimate rewards card, I can look up the purchase under her phone number and I can return it, no problem, because she didn't have a receipt." And I looked up the mother's number. They didn't have a rewards card. So I said, "Does your mother have any sort of indication that she purchased it at Ulta? Because this brand is sold at many other stores, many other drugstores. It's sold at Target, it's sold at Walmart." And the person said, "No, that she just told me she bought it at Ulta." Okay, well, does she have another phone number? Because I can look it up. Or an email, I can look it up. And then the shiz hit the fan. Because I couldn't find a single thing that said that the mother bought this product at Ulta. And I didn't know what to do. No, at that point I knew exactly what to do. I called my manager up. Because, it was a product you can buy at Rite Aid, at CVS, at Walgreens, at Dwayne Reed. Whatever you have around you, you could have bought this product here. It's one of those products that's everywhere. And it was like $10. And I'm not saying that it was a bad product. It was a fine product. And it was brand new. They could have returned it if they had any sort of indication they bought it at Ulta. What if they bought it at any one of those other stores? I had no proof. And the person couldn't understand that. And I wish I could tell you that that was like the only time. Now, I'm talking about the most recent person, but this has happened multiple times in the last 18 months I worked at Ulta. So just throwing it out there. I think Ulta's pretty good with returns. I mean, there are places around the world, like in Europe, you can't return any makeup. So it gets really expensive if you don't like something. So I'm just saying, Americans got it pretty good. All right. This one was interesting. And I was not the cashier for this, but I saw this go down, and my manager took care of it, so I wasn't going to say anything because, you know, what the manager says goes. But I couldn't believe the manager did this. So we had, at Christmas time, a really great deal on hot tools. So the hot tools are hair straighteners or curling irons, and this person at Christmas time had bought probably about $500 worth of hot tools. And with the hot tools purchase, they got free tools. So they got like a bonus tool. So for, like, say they bought a curling iron, they got a straightener for free. Or say they got a straightening iron, they got a curler for free. Or they could have choose like a crimper or anything, but they kind of matched it up. And I was thinking, that's great. You know, like when that sale was going on, what a fantastic sale, right? You get 2 hair products for one price. Like, and Hot Tools is like a pretty good brand. Like, I use Hot Tools all the time, and I mean, it's not our highest end, but it works pretty well. This person returned it in May. So something they bought in November, they tried to return in May. $500 worth of products. And what's funny is that they returned all the free gifts with it. So I don't know why they didn't give them out as gifts. Like, what an amazing gift. They basically got 2 gifts for one, and they'd only tried one hair product. So to put this in perspective, $500 will get you 10 products plus the free gift. So they had 20 hairstyling products, and they had used one and then returned everything else. And a lot of them were duplicates. So they had like 3 hair straighteners that were exactly the same, and they had like 3 curling irons that were exactly the same. They had all this stuff, and they returned it in May, and they bought it in November. And they returned the free gifts with it. I don't know what the backstory was there, right? Doesn't it sound like there has to be a backstory here? And this is what I think it was. I think the person, and this is gonna sound really weird, and I know it's weird, but I think this happened. I think the person went to another country, tried to sell the products in the other country, and what didn't sell, they came back and returned. Because they didn't return everything that they bought. But I think because they got a good purchase price on it at my Ulta, that's why they returned it, because they weren't able to sell it for the price they wanted in that other country. And that's why it took them so long to get back to us. I don't know. Because it could be Christmas gifts, or holiday gifts, or Hanukkah gifts, or Kwanzaa gifts, or whatever you celebrate gifts. But why would you not give out the gifts after you bought so many of them? And why would it take you so long to return it? That was an odd one. That's a very odd one. Okay. Woo. Question 3, or I should say, third story of the strangest product returned. And I referenced this story in another one. And I had a person that tried to return an empty foundation. And, you know, listen, I understand if you're allergic to a product, if it breaks you out, you want to return a foundation. Totally get it. But if your foundation is empty and you tell me that you were allergic to it or it broke you out, why would you use the entire ounce of product? And here's what's strange. I didn't talk about this in my other filming thing. She comes up to the counter. She's very nice. Very nice. Most of these people start off very nice because they want you to help them. And so they're very polite normally when they get started. And so this person was like, I have a return. And I go, okay, great. I say great and perfect and cool a lot. Those are like my keywords at Ulta. I'm like, okay, great. Do you have a receipt? And they had a receipt, and so I opened up the product because it felt a little light, and we say yes, you have to have 75% of the product remaining to give you like a full refund or exchange. So I look at the product, and I ask what's wrong, and she goes, "Oh, it broke me out." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I look into the bottle, I like unscrew it, and it's empty. It's like actually empty. Like, it's like there was no more foundation in the bottle. And I was just like, there's no product remaining in here. Like, you didn't stop using it. And she was well within the 60 days of return. And I just couldn't believe she was trying to return an empty foundation for a full foundation. And she did start to make a scene. So I called my manager over. That's a cashier's like standby. If there's any issue when someone starts getting very upset, and there's really nothing that I could do because I am told not to accept anything that's 75% returned, you always go to the manager. So I called, and my manager is really great. They try and help out the best they can, but with that particular one, the person with the empty foundation did not get a brand new foundation. That's not a good reason to return a foundation that is empty. Even if you are allergic to it, you should just stop using it if you're allergic to it, or it's making you break out. Just stop. Trust me. It's not worth the headache of getting breakouts. It's not worth the headache of being allergic and getting hives. Just let it aside and return it as soon as you can. We respect that pretty well. So like, don't use more than 25% of it. Yeah. That actually leads me into another story. This is a side story. You're gonna get a bonus story. I had a person tell me that the pump was broken on their foundation. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? Because I understand I've had pumps broken on foundation, and you're like scraping it out and wanting to like put it on your face with the stick. And it's like really bad. I get it. It's like the most uncomfortable thing in the world. I hate it. I love pumps on foundation, but as soon as they break, oh my God, I'm over it. So this woman comes up to me. She goes, I want to return the foundation. The pump's broken. I'm like, oh my God, that sucks. Like, that is literally the worst thing that could possibly happen. She went to go get the same shade, same bottle, and brought it back to me. And I'm holding the two side by side, and I notice that one is really light. And she was outside the 60 days. I'll say this, the second story, the woman was outside the 60 days. But if the pump is broken, that's something different, right? Like, that's a product malfunction. So I talked to my manager, and they said, like, go ahead and do the exchange. And I was like, great, let's go ahead and let's do this. And I open up the broken pumped bottle. It was empty. The pump wasn't broken. She'd run out of foundation. She'd used it all. She just used her foundation in 3 months. That's not unusual. It's not unheard of. She just thought that the pump was broken because she wasn't pumping out any more foundation, and she'd used it all. I wish I had like birds chirping in the background and like, what? That's not the first thing you check when you say your pump is broken? You don't look to see if you have more product in there? Whatever. She also did not get a brand new foundation for free because she'd used it all. And she liked the foundation. She also threw a hissy fit. I'd get my manager for that one too. Because before I looked in the bottle, I had told her, oh, it's not a problem. It's a manufacturing error. I didn't realize that it was empty. Foundations, who knew? Issue. This one. Okay, story number 2. We're gonna go to like the weird, from the least crazy to the most crazy. Okay, so I'll never forget this one. This was a scam somehow. It had to have been. There's no way this wasn't a scam. So we had a lady come in who was very nice. They're again, like I said, you start out very nice, and then their crazy comes out. And she comes in with like $350 worth of products, and they're all prestige cosmetics. And she tells me that her mother doesn't like the product. And I go, okay. And then I look at her receipt, and I see that she's had a previous return the same day for another $350, and my manager ran up the, the return. And I was like, oh, this is weird that a person would come back and return $700 worth of product in the same day, but not in the same transaction, because there's no limit to the returns you can do in a day. Like, as long as the product hasn't been used or has only been used a little bit, and the receipt's there, like, you can return it. And within 60 days, and it was within the 60 days. And so I'm looking at the receipt, and she was given, so she paid with a debit card, and she was giving cash back, which is a red flag. That's a red flag, because you normally put the money back on the card. That's just store policies. You normally put money back on the card. At least that was my store policy. Even if it was debit, right? That's a lot of money to be pulled out of the till. And I did not feel comfortable doing that. So I talked to my manager who had done the previous transaction. And she said, oh, I remember this woman. I told her that she could not return any more goods for cash. And I go, okay, that's not a big deal. We can put it back on the debit card. Like, I don't care. Like, let's put it back on the debit card. And the woman says, so this is the customer now. So I talked to my manager. She said, go ahead and put it back on the debit card. She's got the receipt. Nothing's been used. Just, put it back on the debit card. Okay, fine. I talked to the woman. I go, yeah, it's not a big deal. Let's put it back on the debit card. She goes, no, I want cash. And I go, I'm sorry, I'm not authorized to give you cash. My manager said to put it on a debit card. I wasn't denying her money back. I was just denying the fact that she wanted it in cash. And debit is very similar to cash. It just doesn't come out of my till. It was the end of the night, and we need money in the till. And I guess my manager had told her that she wasn't going to do cash again at the store. And so she was trying to work on the system because she saw me up front there and not my manager. And I was just like, what is going on? Like, let's just put it back on your debit card. And she put up the biggest stink about it. The biggest stink about it. And I was just like, what's wrong with this? Like, just put it up on the damn debit card. Like, it shouldn't matter if you get it in cash or debit. And she goes, but it's going to go back on my mother's debit card and I want the cash. And I was like, wait, okay. I'm sorry. Let's work this product through here. You're returning $700 of product in one day. You got $350 back in cash. You want additional $350 back in the same day in cash because you don't want the product that your mother bought to put back on your mother's debit card. You're stealing from your mother. This is what's happening. This is why I think it was a scam, and I kind of know it was a scam. So I think one of two things happened. One, it was a stolen debit card. And what she was doing was she had used a stolen debit card, bought $700 worth of product, pressed credit on it, and then was requesting cash back because it still read as credit. And so she was basically stealing from whoever her mother was. Or she was directly stealing from her mother. Like, her mother had bought her these things as a gift, and she was getting cash back. Isn't that stupid? I just couldn't believe it. So what I ended up doing is I was not feeling it. It was the end of a long day. And in cashier land, like, a long day is a long day. And this person just wasn't allowing me to put it back on a debit card. She was not allowing me to give her money back. So I said like this, okay, I'll give you store credit. And she took the store credit. She took merchandise credit. She basically got no money back. She wouldn't accept actual cash on a debit card, but she took a store credit. That makes no sense. And also, I think that might have been part of the scam. Maybe she was just going for some new products. Like, this was not her products that she bought already with her quote-unquote mother. I don't know. It was a very bizarre experience. That was a bizarre one. Nothing quite like that has ever happened, except for my number one crazy return story. I'll never forget this. I will never forget this. It was Christmas time. I had just started working at Ulta, and I was new to cashiering, at least at Ulta. I'd spent probably a month on the machines getting used to everything, and the line was going around the store, and the people were waiting for like 20 minutes to come with the cash rep. And thank you, by the way, around the holidays for those of you that are patient and nice and kind. I promise cashiers are working as hard as they can to get you through as fast as they can, because we don't get a break either, and we know what it's like to stand in line, and we don't want you to wait. And so thank you for being patient and waiting in those lines and purchasing at Ulta even when we have 5 cash registers going and the line is still around the corner. So I had a gentleman approach me, and he handed me a soccer ball that had a rip in it. And he goes, I got this here, it exploded, can I get another one? And the first thing I thought in my head was, we don't sell soccer balls. It's Ulta. Like, we don't sell soccer balls. Excuse me. And he goes, no, I got it here. And he pulled out his receipt, and it said free gift. And I looked at the soccer ball, and it said a fragrance brand on it. And I realized that it was a free gift. So he had bought a cologne, and he'd received a soccer ball as a free gift. And I went, oh, this is a free gift. You didn't pay for this. Like, I can't do a return for you on a free gift. You didn't actually purchase it. It was just like a free thing for you to take. Take it. It's free. It's yours. Soccer ball. And he goes, no, you don't understand. I bought the fragrance because this was a free gift, and I was going to give this soccer ball as a gift to one of my friends. Okay, I'm going to tell you something about me. I was judgmental right there. You know what I said? In my head, I did not say this to the customer because I was trying to be professional. I went, you cheapskate. You weren't even going to give your friend the fragrance. You're just going to give him the free soccer ball. And this isn't like a nice soccer ball. It wasn't even regulation size. It's like a soccer ball that like is really cheaply made. Yes, it has a high-end brand name on it, but it's a soccer ball that you got at a beauty store. Okay. So then I go, oh, okay, well, let me see if we have any more soccer balls. Because Ultas don't get unlimited number of free gifts with fragrances. You get a handful. And men's fragrances in particular, or colognes, you get maybe 3 or 4. And so I look to see if we had another soccer ball. And I did not see another soccer ball. You know, we've got a section in back by the cash registers where all of our free gifts are, and I was kind of like digging through and asked my fellow cashier who had been there longer than I had, you know, if we had this soccer ball, and they said no, and I couldn't find it. So I go back and I go, I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do. I don't have anything else for this particular brand because everything is brand specific when it comes to free gifts. Like if you buy in cosmetics, like if you buy something from Tarte and you earn the Tarte free gift, and the Ulta that you're shopping at is out of it, I can't give you a free gift from Benefit. Like, you'd be charged for it. Like, when you scan it, it would be charged. It wouldn't go down to 0. It would say whatever the price of that item is. So I can't just, like, switch them out. So I'm talking to this person, and I go, I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do for you. I don't have another free gift from this brand. Like, I would totally exchange it if I had something, but I don't. He goes, well, what about a bathrobe? And Ulta, at Christmas times, they have bathrobes that you can get with a purchase of a fragrance. Well, he had already gotten a bathrobe when he bought his cologne, and now he wanted another bathrobe because the free gift from the brand itself was broken. And I knew that if I'd rung up just a bathrobe, it'd be $80. And remember, I'm still new at the job, so I didn't exactly know how to handle the situation because this guy is getting louder and louder and louder. And he was telling this story on how he was sleeping and the soccer ball sounded like a gunshot when it exploded. He wasn't even playing with it. And, you know, he was sleeping and he woke up from his sleep and he'd been to war and it made him like PTSD. And I was just like, what is going on? He was like getting really like aggravated about this free soccer ball that he just wanted a free soccer ball to give his friend. And by the way, I want to point out the fragrance he bought was like $130. Okay, this soccer ball, in my mind, you could have bought it like a dollar store, right? Even if it has the brand's name. And he was like freaking out, and he was like saying, I just want the soccer ball, just give me a soccer ball, and if you don't have a soccer ball, give me a bathrobe. You gave me a bathrobe before, why can't you give me another one? And I'm like, sir, it's a free gift. Like, it's free. I'm sorry it broke, but it was free. You didn't pay for it. I owe you nothing. Like, all right. So because the scene was being made, I pinged my manager, and my manager was already kind of watching me because, like, this guy was getting very aggressive. And she goes, how can I help you? He's telling her the story of the soccer ball exploding in the middle of the night, and and he was sleeping, and it was a gunshot, and like been surrounded by gunshot, and he was like, oh my gosh. And he was just like, I just want a bathrobe, just give me a bathrobe. I know you don't have any soccer balls left, just give me a bathrobe. And she goes, oh, well, let me see. I just want to double check to make sure we don't have any soccer balls. My manager, she's amazing. I'll speak so highly of my manager. She was so good. And she kind of trots over to where the men's cologne is, and she's looking around. She goes over to a tower, and packed behind like some of the gift sets, there was a soccer ball. So she comes over, she goes, sir, will this do? And he goes, yes. He grabs it and walks out. And I was just like, Miss Manager, you are a god. Thank you. Thank you for finding him a goddamn soccer ball so he can give it to his friend. Oh my God. I'll never forget that. I told that story that Christmas time. I celebrate Christmas, so that holiday season, that Christmas, to all of my friends. And we're all like, what was that guy's problem? Like, it was a free gift for buying one fragrance. He got 2 free gifts. And he was just like, and you know what happened? He was probably playing with a soccer ball, and he burst it. And he just wanted another soccer ball to play with. Because it's a cheap-ass soccer ball. Well, now you know a little bit more about my experience at Ulta. I did love working at Ulta, to be completely honest with you. I absolutely loved it. I wouldn't trade any of these moments for anything. My managers were so good. They really supported me. And thank you, Ulta. I love you. I love you so much. I'll shop with you forever. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, or if you have any feedback. I mean, do you try to return free gifts? I would love to know what your crazy experience at Ulta is. Thank you so much for watching and sticking in there. I've been filming for almost 30 minutes, so I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.